I'm glad I got my 870. Remington 870. Oh yeah. Hey guys, welcome back. Jesse with J&J Outdoors. Right here in my hands, I have the Remington 870 Express. This is the 18-inch synthetic model. Right here, this shotgun that we're going over today has a few different modifications done to it. Your standard 18-inch synthetic comes with a 5-round magazine, or you can buy one with a 7-round magazine, which I highly recommend going ahead and buying finding the 7-round magazine, because you will have to, if you get the 5-shot, you're gonna shoot it, use it at your house, whatever, but it never hurts to have those 2 extra rounds. And in order to convert your 5-round to a 7-round, you're gonna have to buy this Tac Star 2-shot extension, which I give a really big thumbs up. It's a reliable 2-shot extension, comes with a very nice spring. Haven't had any feeding issues with it, and it has a Wilson Combat follower down in there. It has a Magpul MOE forend on it. How it's skinny up top, nice and wide on the bottom. You get a good positive grip in there. It really wouldn't hurt to put like some sand tape or something on here to make that an aggressive grip, something to really hold on to in case your hands are bloody, sweaty, wet, whatever. Have something, but it does have this backstop right here, and that does help out with grabbing onto that forend versus the Remington where it's just smooth. Trigger on these are not bad, but I will say that they're not good either. It's a decent trigger. They do make aftermarket triggers for these. They are available. This one has the factory plastic trigger group in it. Next thing that we notice on here, we have a Tac Star 6-shot side saddle. This is pretty handy, because if you think you're in a home defense or property defense, what have you, and you have your 7 shots, you have these rounds right here ready to go. Flip that shotgun over, or just lean it back, feed them in, and you're ready to rock again, versus fumbling around trying to find rounds. They also make there's some companies out there that are making side saddles for the buttstock, like a nylon strap that goes around the buttstock. Those work too. We have a factory Remington 870 buttstock on here. They do, Magpul makes an outstanding buttstock for these as well. The Remington 870 is just fine. You have a positive grip right here, nice and skinny for me to fit my hands around and reach all your controls from your grip. So, now that we've talked about this shotgun, let's talk about the world of Remington 870s. These have been around for a long time. They have been the #1 selling shotgun for over 50 years. Time tested and proven with many different types of law enforcement, military, what have you, security, civilians. These shotguns have been very reliable, and many lives have been saved with these, and many people are defending their lives with these in their homes and property, what have you. Many people trust the 870, and I think it's a solid shotgun, guys. This is a really nice shotgun. I'm trying not to be too biased here about it. There's many great shotguns out there. There's some really good options. So if you're looking at buying this one, I suggest do your research, look at the other models, compare them. Some of the downsides of the 870, and this is just my opinion, this loading gate can snag your finger. But if you load it correctly, that will not happen. When you're loading your shells and you do it correctly, your thumb should not get caught in there. The next thing on this model that is a con for me is the plastic trigger group, or the trigger guard. You know, it's a big thick piece of plastic or polymer. It's very unlikely that you will ever break this or damage it, but I really like the metal ones better, just to have that assurance that if I drop this, my trigger's not going to break or malfunction just from a drop. But I have not tested this. This might be the strongest piece of polymer on a shotgun ever. I don't know, but I would, me personally, I like the metal trigger guards better. And they do sell those. There are aftermarket trigger kits for these, and they'll have a metal trigger guard with them. That's a nice sound, isn't it? Next thing that we notice on this Remington 870, the safety. The location of the safety is on the trigger assembly. Not a bad spot for it. I know some people complain about the location of the safety on these, but if you look at my hands going from the trigger to the safety, it's not, I don't have to change my grip to take the safety off. It's not a bad safety, but there are other shotguns who have their safeties in different locations. Some people prefer the safety on top of the receiver, things like that. So I am not going to give it a thumbs down because of the location of the safety. This is a smooth bore shotgun. What that means is this is just a solid pipe on here, 18-inch piece of pipe, and it will shoot anything that you can fit into the bore of this shotgun, whether it be a slug, buckshot, turkey load, bird shot, target loads, whatever that you can. If it's a 12 gauge, it will go into the shotgun. So without any more talking about this specific model, let's go ahead and get into some shooting on this thing. Okay, shooters, some of you who are wanting to know what types of shells I'm running, I have Federal and Remington. This is 7.5 shot, 1 1/8 ounce. The Federal is 1 ounce, 2 3/4 inch target loads. Then over here, our heavy duty stuff, we have some Remington Express Magnum. This is a 3-inch double-aught buck, 15 pellets. And then over here, we have 2 3/4 inch, 1 ounce lead slugs. So we're gonna be doing some damage with these bad boys today. And then up here on the side saddle, we have some of the light 1 ounce, these are the Federal light recoil slugs. All right, let's go shoot some target. Alright guys, we got our point of impact AR 500 quarter scale target down there. We're going to shoot 2 1-ounce slugs and 2 of the double lot buck to show what it does to that AR 500 target. So first, let's step it off with a 1-ounce slug. And we will do a buckshot right after that. Alright, sending them. Buckshot. It hits pretty hard, both of them, especially that 3-inch Magnum. This time we will go, buckshot first. And notice my shoulder, how hard this double lot kicks. Sending the slug. Man, tell you what, there's just something about getting out and shooting a 12 gauge. It's so much fun. I love it. All right, guys, let's just go ahead and do some testing on some 2 liters of the cheapest soda that money can buy. I have some grape and cola. Let's start off with 7.5 shot Federal target loads. So I'm gonna do that 2 liter. All right, let's step it up to the next one. Double lot buck. All right, let's try a 1-ounce slug. Those slugs are just nasty. Let's do a buckshot one more time just to get another idea of what that double lot buck can do to a zombie's head or a 2 liter. Going down. All right, guys, just to give you an idea on what types of loads there are for shotguns. There's many people out there who say that they keep birdshot or target loads in their shotgun for home defense. And then there is buckshot. There's a lot of 12, 9, 15, very small pellets. Some of them can be 30 caliber, basically little small 9 millimeters, 12 of them coming at you. And then there are slugs, just a solid 1-ounce chunk of lead. Devastating, devastating power and lethality. I guess technically all of these could kill someone, but just to give you guys an idea on what these loads will do to a target, let's go ahead. We're going to start off with a 1-ounce slug. All right, next is buckshot. And last, birdshot. Okay, guys, let's go over why the shotgun is the #1 recommended weapon to defend your home or home defense. There's a big difference when we go to a gun store and we tell the salesman behind the counter if we say, I need a weapon for self-defense versus I need a weapon for home defense. When you ask, I need a weapon for home defense, it's a very high possibility that you're going to be recommended to buy a 12 gauge shotgun. Why is the shotgun the #1 recommended home defense weapon? Right here. We just went over slugs, buckshot, and birdshot, and the lethality versus a human being entering, or a threat entering your home. A slug right here, it looks like we had a dead-on lung shot. Buckshot is very lethal. It is, if you can imagine putting 12, let's just stick with the 12 shot, putting 12 380 or 12 9mm in your barrel and shooting them into a threat, a bad guy. That's basically what buckshot is. It's a lot of them are 30 caliber. Very bad day for whoever's on the receiving end of buckshot. And here we get into the debate of target loads or non-lethal loads. But with birdshot, that's kind of a gray area because birdshot can definitely be lethal, especially at close range. We can see at 20 foot the spread of the birdshot. My personal opinion, this guy is not dead. He's just very bloody, and he's asking himself, why did I break into this guy's house? Why did I do this? Because he's in a lot of pain and he's bleeding, depending on the clothing that he's wearing, because these are very, very small BBs. If you can imagine the BB that goes in your Daisy Red Ryder BB gun, these are even smaller than that. And if he has a heavy jacket on, shirts underneath that, some of those are not even going to penetrate through the skin. Some of those are going to stop depending on what he's wearing. That all comes down to weather. If it's hot outside, he's going to be wearing a t-shirt. Cold, he's going to be wearing a jacket. But the target load, I need the viewer feedback here. What do you put into your 12 gauge shotgun? What do you trust your life and the life of your family with? Do you use buckshot, slugs, rubber bullets, birdshot? I'd like to get some feedback on that and see what people out there are putting in their shotguns. Why should you use a 12 gauge shotgun? Because you can have an AR-15 with a 30 round magazine. This is why the shotgun is recommended #1 over many of the other options, even over handguns for home defense. Don't get me wrong, guys, I highly recommend a handgun for home defense, a rifle for home defense. It all depends on your home layout and how things are going to go. How, just come up with a plan. Where are you most likely going to be shooting? I mean, it's, you never know, but it never hurts to be prepared. And with a rifle, 30 round magazine, it's a small, high velocity bullet. It's going to go through the bad guy, out the back of him. It's going to go into the wall and could possibly hurt or kill someone on the other side, because that bullet is traveling at such a high velocity, still has a lot of energy. Versus if we shot this guy with buckshot, it just dropped, and especially a slug, 1 ounce slug, dropped all of its kinetic energy into the bad guy, and it's going to slow it down pretty much right there in its tracks. This guy's going to fall on the ground, and he's going to go ahead and have to say his prayers, because he's probably not going to live after getting shot with a slug or buckshot at point blank range. But we don't have to worry about the buckshot going out passing through our threat, going into the wall and hurting our neighbor or killing our neighbor or someone in our own home. That's why the 12 gauge is such a highly recommended home defense weapon. But this is where we get into the whole debate, what type you use, what type of shell, what works best for you. So I'd like to know from you guys, what do you use in your 12 gauge shotgun to defend your home? All right, guys, that's the Remington 870. I really appreciate you watching this video. It means a lot. If you could just subscribe or like this video, it helps me out a ton. So big thanks to all you guys who stuck around and stayed subscribed and been following me on YouTube, and those of you who have been on Facebook following us over there. Really appreciate you guys. It means the world. Remington 870, there's not a whole lot to say about it other than it's an outstanding shotgun, and this is my first shotgun video, and I had a lot of fun out here shooting it. I look forward to making more shotgun videos. So thanks for watching, guys. Jesse with J&J Outdoors. God bless America, and y'all keep shooting.